Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, you guys just got through watching Stranger Fruit on Stars. In case you guys don't know what Stranger Fruit is, it's a documentary, basically on the final hours of Michael Brown, who was, gunned down by Officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson is a city pretty much outside of St. Louis. It's in the St. Louis area. And shout out to the dude that directed the movie and put it together. I think his name is Chris Polick or something like that. But it's a very insightful piece, and he told the absolute truth. He debunked everything that was presented to the public by the media, and he exposed the media and the police department to the fullest, where basically it was a cover-up, that we were fed lies by the media, in particularly Fox News, where they made it look like this dude was an animal, and everything was debunked about the incident, from the store to, basically the actual shooting, how Michael Brown was actually a solid kid and he was on his way to college. They tried to portray him as this animal, and none of this stuff was true. The media left out important information about Darren Woodson, that Darren worked for another police department and he was fired, and he had at least 4 complaints about him for racial profiling. And he tried to say, it wasn't about color than the actual shooting itself, and how they disregarded the testimony of at least 4 witnesses that all had the same story, where they said they saw Darren Woodson execute Michael Brown. Michael Brown could have survived the first wounds, and what happened was he walked up to him and shot him in the head, on top of the head, and that's what killed him. They left his body on the ground for over 4 hours before they actually picked him up. Just very insulting. He wasn't a drug dealer. He didn't rob a store. And Darren Woodson's story about, he approached him because he received a call about a robbery suspect was a lie. It was actually just a confrontation that him and his friend were just basically jaywalking. So how does jaywalking get you sent to the morgue? And then it was funny, you had all these yahoos coming on these channels talking about that he reached for the police gun, and he didn't. Now, before you start talking shit, this movie was put together by a white person. He debunked everything. The DOG, the DOG basically put out fake reports. Everything was fake. He did not reach for the officer's gun. He did not charge towards him. He tried to surrender with his hands up, not to mention he was shot trying to run from Darren Wilson. So just watch, this documentary is called Stranger Fruit. I think it came out last year, but it pretty much debunked everything. It was what we thought it was. The cops should have been brought up on charges. Everything about the Michael Brown case was an absolute lie. It was falsification by the media. It was falsification by the Ferguson Police Department. It was falsification by just everybody involved. They ran a smear campaign against Michael Brown. So it just goes to show you can't believe shit that the police tell you, and you can't believe shit that the media puts out. And then they try to say it wasn't about race when it really was. But I recommend you watch this film. It's called Stranger Fruit, and it's about Michael Brown. It's appearing on Stars right now. Just set your your DVR, and it'll pop up, or your on demand. Good film.